Welcome to my first podcast called In the Pocket.
Where would you rather be?
That's true. Maybe a little bit out. Depends on what you're playing, though. My name is William Ong.
Hey, Will.
What's your name? Who
My
are
name's
you?
Alex.
Alex what?
Eliopoulos.
Eliopoulos. Is that Greek?
Opa. Yes.
Ah, okay.
Opa.
So, so I'm basically just kind of here interviewing different drummers that I know and, kind of see how it goes.
I've known you for a while.
It's been a while, yeah. The OTE days.
Survivalist days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We played a house show.
Oh, yeah.
On 18th.
Oh, that's right.
With that band from Boston or Detroit.
Yeah. Oh, man. Now I'm spacing on that band. Was it Toad something?
Yeah, something like that. I remember I was on cop duty when you guys were playing, so I didn't get to see you play. And I did a really good job because the cops showed up. And I was like, hey, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's okay. We're under control.
Yeah.
We're all drinking, but it's fine.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Just 300 people in a house.
Yeah, no big. Happens all the time. Every day. Well, man, we've known each other for, like you said, I mean, at least, man, I'm pushing almost 10 years, maybe 9 years, something like that.
Probably pretty close to that, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. We've talked about drums a lot.
Yeah.
And I still feel there's a lot I don't know about your drumming history.
Really? Because I'll just vomit it all over you.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Oh, you got questions.
I got questions, baby.
Here
I'm
we
here.
go.
I'm here for it.
All right.
Now, how I'm going to shoot these off, we'll see. But
all right.
So how long have you been drumming? Let's start there.
I mean, that's just a question that I get, and I field it the same way as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
That's fair.
4th grade?
4th grade? Okay.
I do remember it being, I wanted to be in the band. I wanted to be music, whatever. And I remember choosing between trombone and drums.
Okay.
And my mom was like, well, your uncle's a drummer. He'd probably like that.
Yeah.
And so that was the, decision, the divider was, Uncle Lou playing drums.
So you didn't want to walk around and go, wah, wah, wah.
I still love the bone, though. Oh.
The bone zone.
The horns, man. I love them.
They're fun, man. Especially with when I played that Newport show, we had a brass section.
Yeah, well, that came out of nowhere and was awesome.
Thank you. Yeah,
that was
very cool.
It's very surprising. A lot of surprises.
Yeah,
little eggs in that.
I don't know why I'm saying thank you. It's not my band, but
I mean,
I got the privilege to play.
It was pretty awesome. It was dope. It was. I haven't seen. They don't do a lot of live shows. Damn the Witch.
They were out for a couple years.
Yeah,
because of COVID.
Because everyone. Yeah,
like everyone else, But I'd say it was a hell of a return show.
They're also not one of those bands that like just plays any. Every band that I've been in is one of those bands that's like, oh, there was a cancellation. Mm-hmm. Would you guys like to play this Friday? And it's Thursday, and we're like, yeah, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Whereas Damn the Witch is more of a curated, an event. It's a happening.
It's definitely planned
good
out
for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the way you should do it.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm the same vein, like with my own stuff, where if somebody hits me up last minute, I'm always like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Because like I just love performing. And I know you do too. What band are you playing in currently? I mean, I know, but for anyone that doesn't know you,
I'm aware that there's a camera.
There is a camera.
Ratterall is the main steez, and it's Adderall with an R.
Yeah,
because it's Ratterall.
I mean, it is pretty rad.
It's synthy, beautiful. It's. We were just listening to a mix, and it's freaking.
It sounds really good.
I love it. I've been listening to it nonstop for weeks, and I'm not tired of it.
Yeah.
Which, I guess I'm not the one mixing it, so I don't need to have the acute ears on. I'm just like, the vibe is awesome.
Yeah.
So
it's huge. It sounds massive, and all the layering that's going on in that song. I'm excited to hear that one drop.
Yeah.
That's gonna be sick.
Same.
Yeah,
man.
So,
what band are you playing in right now?
Man, I'm
turning this one around.
Oh man, I'm freelancing right now.
Obviously, Damn the Witch.
Yeah, I got asked for a couple gigs with them.
Okay.
It's not like I'm a part of the band, but if they ask me again, I'm definitely interested because they're great to play with. They're real professional, and it was like, this is what we're doing, and real methodical and everything. So
yeah,
but mostly freelancing. I'm do studio work. I get hired for a lot of that. Just kind of tracking drums and stuff, but. I do regular gigs.
Well, you got the space for it, man. This place is awesome.
Thanks, man. It's been a lot of work.
And it doesn't feel like a dentist's office, which is also dope.
Right? That's kind of nice.
A lot of practice spaces feel like dentist's office.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't until you look at the ceiling.
Well,
and you're kind of like,
it's a drop ceiling. You can't do much about that.
That's true. That's true. So in Radderall, how do you guys go about like the songwriting? Like, do you do any composition with, like, do you help with the composition in the songs?
Not with this. Well, not yet, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So John, guitar player, and Zach, keys, synth, they've been thick as thieves since like high school. So they've been bouncing tracks back and forth forever.
Yeah.
And then I guess like accidentally booked a show. I think it was one of your shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of to chime in on that. I heard an EP that they released, and I messaged John. I was like, hey, do you guys want to play a show with me at the Summit?
Yes.
And he was like, that would be sick, but he lives all the way in Cleveland, and we've never played a show together yet, but let me ask him.
Right.
And I think you guys just kind of
threw it
together, and it sounded sick.
Yeah. Yeah. So accidentally.
Yeah.
Sure. Because it was never, I don't know if it was meant to be on stage or whatever, but yeah, they were making music and the music was awesome. And drum wise, simple to learn, simple to recreate.
Yeah.
It was, but then once it happened, it just like made sense. And we were like, okay, we should keep doing this. Mm-hmm. This is fun. So as far as the songwriting goes, it's really Warren and I, the other two members, kind of just interpreting what has already been established and making that whatever on our own. And but moving forward, maybe a little bit more stake, but no, I don't really have a lot of say in the arrangements or anything.
What about, I know you play in two other bands, right? Are those still happening?
Boy Shorts, yes.
Okay.
Love Boy Shorts.
Yeah.
That's a party band.
For sure.
That's a lot of fun. That's with the same guitar player, John, and then Charity Crow, who is just a social butterfly who knows everyone. You can... Yeah. You can go to any part of Ohio and she'll just run into someone and it's like, I feel like
every time I go to a show, she's just there. Or like she's coming like at some part of the evening, she kind of shows up and just kind of like dances around the room talking to people and then like kind of just moves on to the next thing,
She's always there.
Yeah. Yeah. Very whimsical.
But that band's still, we're kind of doing stuff. We haven't played a gig in a while, but it's still that post-pandemic.
Right.
Getting back to stuff. And then Shivs, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows with that band?
I love Shivs. I got a huge soft spot for that band.
So much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. We used to live together and that made it easy.
Right.
To be like, hey, get in the basement. Let's jam.
Yeah.
And then Chris got married, life happened, whatever. Right. And it's just like, well, you don't want to be held down to one thing.
For sure.
So maybe again, I'd be down. If Chris was like, hey man, I booked a show, let's go, half-hour set. I'd be like, okay, done. Let's do it.
So how do you feel about like freelancing? Like, have you ever like done like got hired like, hey, we need a drummer for this wedding gig, or like I need a drummer here. Here's the tunes. Can you learn them and sit in? You ever done that, or are you ever interested in that?
I have done that.
Yeah.
It reminds me when I broke my leg and had to move back in with my parents.
Yeah.
I would go to jam nights, which was at this place called Susie Q's.
Yeah.
No, well, it was in Canton. I don't think it was Susie Q's.
Oh, okay.
I saw a pool table and that's what
I
came
missed
to
that
mind.
part.
Yeah, it was just this open jam night, and the amount of times I've played Brown Eyed Girl,
Yeah.
is just a little too much for me.
Yeah. I feel it. I totally feel it.
It's never. It's not where the fun is. It's where the money is. I'll tell you that. I played with a cover band. They call themselves a bluegrass band, which there's no drummers in a bluegrass band. Whatever. I still played with them, and it was fun and like made money every gig. Like playing now, it's like, oh man, hopefully I get $20 for Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Playing with that band, I was like, oh, I'm guaranteed 200.
Isn't that a weird thing though? Like, you know, because I more and more, like, I used to recoil from that stuff, you know, because my dad was a working musician and he did that for a living, you know, and
if that's all you're doing too.
Yeah. And, you know, and I was like the complete opposite. I'm like, I want a band. I want to write my own music. I want to do all this. So like the thought of like, oh, I got to sit down and learn these tunes. I'm like, oh, you know, and then, you know, I had a shift in 3 or 4 years ago where I'm just like, why not? You know, like I need to make money. That's where the money is at. So
I remember when you made that shift.
Yeah, you know, and it's, you know, and I definitely got some flack from it from a couple friends, but it's like, hey man, I got bills to pay, you know, and there's no shame in the game. But one thing that is really interesting is like bars are willing to pay a cover band like $500 to $1,000 to play covers, but they won't pay that for an original show.
But these are also different bars.
It's true.
The bar that's willing to pay is a burb bar.
Yeah.
Where they know
towny bar.
People are going to be there regardless, and they're trying to add to the evening rather than a bar that's like the band is the event. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's also bars, rest in peace, Carabar.
Oh yeah. R.
That'll just like, hey, here's 30% or 50% of the bar, no cover.
Yeah.
But you're walking away with $500, guaranteed. Doesn't matter what day of the week.
Yeah.
This is a Tuesday show.
And see, I don't understand why venues don't adopt that for original bands. I feel like
greedy.
Well,
you don't open up a bar and not try and exploit every point you can make. I guess that's true. Money.
Yeah. I just feel that benefits both sides. You know, like you're going to have more people coming in because you don't have to pay a cover. They're going to drink, you know, unless it's like an underage show, then that's a totally different thing. But 90% of the time it's not. And, you know, you're going to make money at the bar. So, you know, why not split that 20%, you know? And just make the bands happy and keep that alive instead of it being a feast and famine kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I wonder why. Maybe it becomes like an event. If you have tickets, you're going.
Yeah.
But a lot of people still buy the tickets at the door, so...
True.
I think it's way more appealing to be like, oh, there's this free show happening. It's down the block. Do you want to pop in?
Yeah,
and then people will stay.
Yeah. And it could be anything. I mean, I remember Metal Mondays at Carabar and getting like dollar tacos, you know, and like some metal band I've never heard of. You know, and it's fun, you know, like, and that's the stuff that like people remember, you know, anybody that's played Carabar or lives in Columbus that's been to Carabar has some sort of story where like they had a ton of fun. You know, I'm sure there's horror stories too, because it's a bar. Weird shit happens, but you know, like, you know, nothing's perfect, but you know, for bands and stuff like that, it's usually like, oh man, I miss that place. You know, like I miss going there, I miss just hanging out there, you know. And you know, I feel that's what really makes a venue cherishable.
A vibrant music scene.
Well, that
free
too,
music.
yeah. Exactly.
Like, sorry to shit on Columbus, but go to Cincinnati. Every bar on their whatever over the Rhine, I think they call it.
Yeah.
Free music.
Yep.
The entire.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this is great because there's music everywhere.
Yeah.
Why are we doing the?
Yeah.
Because then it forces bands to do the pay to play thing.
Exactly.
Where here's 50 tickets. If you don't sell them, you gotta buy them.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm not with that.
No.
That doesn't help anyone.
I think we're just complaining about.
Yeah, we are.
This is normal musician stuff. Like,
well, this is the things that we talk about. Let's shift it. So,
okay.
5 of your favorite drummers.
Oh
yeah, I'm dropping that bomb.
Mitch Mitchell.
Killer.
Guess you gotta say Bonham, Dave Grohl.
Yep.
What are we at? 3? 5.
You always hear 3.
Okay.
Nobody ever gets 5.
So now this one's local. Brad Unruh from Wild Boys of Everon.
Okay.
That was a Canton band. He's probably selling insurance by now. And then the 5th. Ooh. I don't know. Will Long.
No, don't.
You're the hardest working drummer I know.
Toss me on that.
You are the hardest working drummer I know.
No, I decline.
Yeah, no, you're taking that one.
Not begrudgingly, but I do decline.
Yeah, take it. Take it.
No, man, there's guys hustling harder than me. I mean, well, not there's people hustling harder than me out here, but I'm trying.
Yeah, you're doing it. You're passing it forward too, which is awesome.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, why not?
That's that teacher mentality. That's the I don't have that.
Yeah.
When I try,
what's up with? I've been actually wanting to ask you that because like teaching, I feel. There's that whole, well, if you can't do it, you're a teacher, whatever that saying is. Those who can't do teach. That's what it is.
Right.
I hate that because I do both, like I gig and I teach and I just play big venues, stuff like that, and I track it, I hate
it doesn't
that
apply.
Saying. It does not.
It's a
it never
dumb
applies.
saying.
Yeah. It's silly. But anyway, how come you feel like you can't teach?
I just never.
Are you just not like
I've tried.
Yeah.
It is fun to. Yeah, kind of reset and like go back and be like, this is a quarter note. And
yeah.
It is fun reapproaching it that way. But yeah, I also don't want to.
That's fair.
I mean,
yeah. You gotta have a lot of patience.
Yeah, maybe it's the patience thing. Maybe I feel like I'm losing out on time. I could be practicing on things that that I'm still working on.
Yeah.
I'm finally getting molar in my right hand.
Yeah.
That's taken a year.
Well, let me bring this up. So I felt the same way. So I started teaching when I was 18.
Okay.
Straight out of high school. My first teaching job was working at my high school teaching the drum line.
Okay.
And then from there I got into a little studio and had students and all that. Up until I was 25. Because I was feeling that exact. I'm like, why am I should be doing this. I could be da 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 da.
Yeah.
And then I took about 2 years off of teaching and focused on playing and stuff. And then I got back into it because I kind of missed it, And I had kind of a shift in perspective that, you mentioning the molar, right?
Right.
Well, think about teaching the molar to 5 different people every week. Think of how many, so you're working on it while you're teaching it,
right?
Kind of thing. And, it's kind of beautiful because 90% of drumming is foundation, right? So if you don't have the foundation or you start losing it, you're going to fall off. Everything's going to unbuckle, right? And or the wheels are going to fall off.
Right.
Where when you're teaching and, especially beginner students and stuff, you're constantly, even though you're teaching it, you're working on your foundation.
Right. You're still doing it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you are practicing, maybe not the stuff that you really want to.
There's still sticks in your hands.
There's still stick in your hands, and you're strengthening that foundation, which I feel will make you a better player,
Yeah.
you know, because the pocket's important, you know, and the more you work on that foundation, the tighter that pocket's going to get.
Yeah, true.
You know? That's kind of how I've been viewing it, you know, and
Start a school, man. You going to charge me rent? Give me a room here? Let's go.
Well, you know, that's something, you know, that's something later down the road
Building
I would
towards,
like to do.
Kind of, okay.
I would like to do something like that, you know, but, you know, this podcast ain't about me. It's about you, my
No,
guy.
it's not. It's about drumming. We're drummers.
That's true. It's
So,
about drumming, you
yeah.
know. But, you know, I want people to know who you are and what you're up to, you know.
Teaching maybe, but like my teacher.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you take lessons? I
Yeah.
don't think I ever asked you that.
Zampino's Drum Shop,
Okay.
Canton, Ohio, frickin' Cullen Triner for at least a decade.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't touched a pair of sticks in 5-10 years now.
Oh, wow.
So the Zampinos, they closed down, they tore down the building,
Yeah.
and now he does something else. And it's like
That's a
super
bummer.
discouraging to hear that like the guy that I've learned almost everything from
Yeah.
doesn't play drums anymore.
Well, it's
I'm like,
life.
whoa.
I mean, that's life.
Yeah, true.
You know,
True.
stuff happens and
Yeah.
you get situations you gotta bounce. But that, I totally get it.
Yeah.
I'd be bummed too.
But yeah, I took lessons from Cullen, and then there was another dude, Jason Edwards. So yeah, it's a very schooled approach, because you know, reading music and that sort of thing.
So do you think, so this is another hot button question for musicians. And it's always, it's one side or the other.
Uh-oh.
Do you feel that knowing how to read music cuts down on your creativity?
Not at all. It's a language. If
Absolutely.
you want to communicate something,
Yep.
it's good to have a common words
Yeah.
to exchange.
Yeah.
What bugs me is like people that know music
Mm-hmm.
or know how to read music but can't jam.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it bothers me maybe because I just don't understand it. And a lot of drumming is mechanics, so it's like,
Right.
okay, you have the mechanics, you have an imagination.
I think I'm actually, so I have a couple students I'm going through that with
Really?
right now,
Okay.
where they, you know, they're taking lessons, right?
Right.
And I'm like the only person they've studied with in their life so far. And I'll be like, okay, just play a beat for me. And they're just like, what do you want me to play? It's like,
Deer in the headlights. Like,
play whatever you want. Like,
Right.
what do you mean whatever I want? It's like, oh, wait, what's going on here? So the question's like, you know, so do you just practice the material I'm showing you? Like, do you just practice
Like
for the
math
next
problems.
lesson? It's like, yeah, it's like, oh man, that's an issue, you know? And I feel that that's something that may be lost in some teachers where they don't have like free play stuff where you jam with people.
yes.
And I kind of see that in both perspectives. I see it like myself. I'm like, you know, we're going to learn how to read music. We're going to learn how, you know, build your foundation. But I also try to get that, you know, we're also going to free play and stuff. But the free play kind of goes to the wayside a lot of times because, you know, we're focused on.
There's a lot to
certain goal.
learn. You got
There's a lot, yeah.
to develop. Yeah.
Where you have teachers that just focus on jamming. Like it's
Well, we're not guitar players here. Come on.
well, yeah, but you know, like, you know, being in practice rooms at other studios, and I'm like on a break between students, I'm just listening. And it's literally the teacher's playing for 30 minutes while the other students
Really?
kind of play. Oh yeah. Oh, dude, that's a thing. And it drives me nuts because it's like, what are they learning? You know, like they're learning how to jam, which is good, but like,
How often are you gonna jam with another drummer?
well, yeah, you know, and it's, I mean, it's cool. It's fun, but I just don't understand the takeaway from that.
It's not
You know?
much.
It's not exactly.
I think
It's
the
like,
teacher might be phoning it in on those ones.
there's a lot of
All right,
that.
if you don't want
There's
to
a lot
talk
of
bad
that.
about it, whatever.
There's
but-
there's a lot of that. You know, I'm not naming names, but I've seen.
So
some
I can be a
things.
teacher and just jam with these kids and
Yeah,
collect
sure.
money. Okay, I'll teach them.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, my thing is, and what, you know, parents are kind of take a step back from is like, you know, I'm like, when a student's not practicing, I'd be like, look, I can find some other student to come in here that wants to be here and take lessons and practice. Your money doesn't matter to me. I appreciate the business, but what matters to me is that you grow.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of instructors are more like, hey, this is my paycheck.
That's important to be, because it's not always like the kid tried it, maybe doesn't like it. It's like, okay, reflect a little bit and be like, okay, this isn't for me. I'm going to go swim or play basketball.
Right. Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's important to expose, but yeah, if you're not into it.
Yeah. And it's fine.
That's
just
why
being honest
Walmart sells drum kits.
Yeah.
It's
yeah. And Amazon too.
Figure it out and then, throw it in the dumpster because,
right.
It happens.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, that's, the growth part of it. It's actually developing if you're really into it, getting motivated and being the least respected part of a band.
Oh, that's a category.
Every time I'm loading up, everyone's loaded up. I'm still carrying stuff, and I'm like, I picked the worst instrument.
You know what? Here's the thing. And, okay, I was just talking about this earlier with my friend Al. I was like, I have, there's been a couple bands that I've gotten fired from, like gigging-wise.
Okay.
And, I feel that a part of it is that I'm usually the first one to be broken down or set up before everyone else.
You go to gigs early.
Yeah, well, I go early, but when I'm done playing, I'm packing and I'm loaded up and then I'm hanging out,
Right.
Where, I played in this band and we had a sax player. I'd literally have my entire drum set tore down, loaded, put in the car, and he still hadn't even put away his first saxophone yet. You know what I mean? So it's
so why would they?
It's just, I don't know. I feel that's the thing,
He doesn't want to hang out.
Musicians get weird. Well, it's no, I'm hanging out, but it's just I just do the work. I'm like, get it over with and just chill,
No one wants,
And I feel that, some people get weird about that.
Okay.
I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I don't know. It's odd.
Huh.
Yeah.
And you said first saxophone. How many saxophones does this guy have?
2.
To where you could tear down an entire drum set.
He has 2, but it's that whole I feel like when you're gigging a lot, especially being a drummer, tearing down, setting up is so important. Just getting in and
down to
a
science. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I get the best of both worlds. I get compliments and I also get Snickers. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And it just depends on the gig.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. But it's a thing.
Huh. But being fired from a gig from
I think
down
it was
too
a part
fast.
of it. I think the other part was I was bored. And then they were kind of,
they could tell.
Because I got to a point where I was dialing it in. It's okay, here's my one solo I get to play.
If you're not in it, you're not in it.
50,000 guitar solos every song. You know what I mean? It's, kind of jive.
Yeah.
After a while, it's just okay, all right, I get it.
Yeah.
So,
those are tough. But yeah, they don't turn tough until you've done it 20, 30 times and you're like, oh, this is what I'm doing on a Friday, Saturday night.
Yeah.
Why am I in Circleville playing
for this amount of money and playing the same songs,
Yeah.
And it's not all gigs are like that.
No.
But the ones everyone has a breaking point, right?
Yes.
You can only take so much.
Sometimes some people tell you that breaking point before you even know it.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe it was a blessing that you were kicked out for having a very efficient breakdown time.
Maybe. I don't know.
I still put my hardware in a golf bag, so that's not a problem for me.
Man. I abandoned that a long time ago. I used to do that. I used to do it.
I've had one with wheels, and then I play a bunch of gigs that are on the second or third floor with no elevator. I'm like, why do I have this wheeled thing?
I'm telling you, backpack cases.
With hardware?
No, with drums. Hardware.
I got the best drum cases because they discontinued them. The black Ludwig.
Oh yeah.
Soft but not soft. Kind of hard. With
Those
the
are
fluffy.
pretty nice. Yeah.
They're the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They discoed those?
Yeah, they made them the blue or the green and olive badge. The blue and olive badge.
Yeah.
So they're really bright.
So like the
I don't want
the
my
70s
drums to be
badge.
sitting somewhere and attract eyes.
Right.
I want them to look like
Yeah.
nothing, so I can set them there and no one takes them.
Yeah.
You know, black. Make them black.
I've always put like weird reflective colored duct tape on mine because 9 times out of 10, if when I was touring a lot, I run into people. We have the exact same cases. And you gotta worry about somebody.
Because there's
grabbing
only a
your
couple
cymbals.
brands. Yeah.
And there's bands that they just leave it as is. So I make mine very distinctive. Like, please don't take this.
No.
Please. I won't have to chase you down 2 states over. Right. So let me okay, I got 2 questions. So one, and there's a follow-up, so it'll go to a bright side hopefully. But tell me a time where you had a failure moment in music.
A failure moment.
Like a moment where, like, you ever had like a moment where you just like you attempted something and it just went all wrong. Like it just did not go right.
Failed music. What a great question.
Right?
Have you interviewed someone before? Jeez.
Just myself.
No, I'm the best. I've never a failed.
And that could be anything, like a show or something that flopped, or like a tour that flopped, or I mean, just as a musician in general,
When I was booking shows, I had a Facebook at the time, and just 2 dudes that were just down to get in a van.
Yeah.
And I booked like just a weekend, maybe 3 dates. And the first one was at a wrestling arena.
Nice.
That we were late to.
Was it in Georgia by chance?
No, since.
I was in Cincy?
I think Cincy.
Okay.
So they were still packing up from the wrestling show when we showed up.
That's rad.
And then the next night was in a basement where all the other bands were hardcore metal. And then we were like a surf rock band. And yeah, that was pretty bad. It was more fun. It was still a joke. Like, it was, nothing bad happened. The biggest failure.
Yeah, like, I'll give you examples. So.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Oh, man. There's so many.
So many?
Well, here's the thing. Like, most people view this. I don't look as failure as a bad thing when I'm trying to do so. I look at it as a part of growth.
I guess I don't either.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, some people dwell on it. Like, I tried this thing and I'm just terrible. It's like, no, something didn't go right. Try again. You know what I mean? And I mean, hell, doing this right now.
What are we doing?
So many things.
There's drum kids in the room and we're not jamming with each other.
I know. I'm failing it miserably, but I actually had, I mean, financially as a musician, I've failed multiple times, like where I've gotten to points where, my bank account is way negative and I ain't got the money coming in. And it's like, I'm just like, oh man, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, how am I going to get through this kind of thing, and just riding that wave. And, somehow it always just kind of works itself out, one way or another. And that's always been kind of a weird game of chicken I've been playing since I've started doing this. Because, making a living as a musician is really hard, and especially doing where you have a studio, and if you're not doing corporate stuff or just have something steadily going in and
corporate
building
stuff. You talking about church gigs?
I mean, I got church gigs.
Yeah.
No hate.
Yeah, you do.
No hate.
Hey,
man.
Those are the best gigs.
They're great. I don't know why a lot of people give it a bad rep. I mean, I know a lot of people.
They're easy to poke fun at. That's all it is.
It's also, people have issues with religion, which
I guess, that
and
plays a part.
That's fair. I used to be that way. I used to be that way. I wouldn't say I'm a very religious person, but
I mean, if you want those Britney Spears mics and you
bro.
want that drum shell,
dude,
where else you gonna
actually,
go?
the gig I have, I'm not in the cage.
Oh no,
I played some of those, and man,
it
it's
hurts.
a drag.
It hurts.
Everything's so
You're in a
dead.
box.
It's hot.
Yeah,
That box is
I guess
hot,
that too.
and that ceiling is very tall, so it's like crouching in there. But more and more, like the one I'm at's really great. They're very nice. They're not very pushy, and they're very accepting, and they've helped me out multiple times and stuff, and are very cool people, and I have nothing but wonderful things to say about.
Yeah, I'm not trying to
but
talk
trash. No, I know. I'm just saying, like the point of view of, you got a church gig. Actually, that band I got fired from, they would make fun of me because I'm like, yeah, I got to get up early for my church gig tomorrow. Oh, you're playing at church.
It's just easy.
It's like, yeah, man. Like, it's
both
it's a good gig.
Just on different sides of the clock.
Exactly.
Yeah,
man. And it's amazing how close-minded musicians can be towards each other.
Yeah, big time.
Like I've had a guy tell me, well, if I ever want to learn how to play cover songs, I'll hit you up for lessons. Otherwise, you got nothing for me.
Good dig, bro.
I'm like, okay,
good dig, bro.
Okay, because that's all I do.
Oh, you've never learned a song you've heard?
Yeah, it's a drag, But yeah, no, I mean, basically, like, I'm constantly failing at this business.
Oh, right. Big failures.
And but I always try, and I always try my hardest, and somehow it works out. I mean, I moved to a bigger spot, and things are going pretty good. I'm in the middle of a tough rut, but yeah, I'll get through it.
Okay, one thing is coming to mind.
Sure.
That drum shop that I used to work for, Zampino's, would sponsor the Blues Fest downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, a weekend thing of just a bunch of bands playing in this courtyard. And this drum shop would always have one or two just high school kids that would work there, and then they'd spend their entire paycheck at the drum shop because you're surrounded by toys.
Right.
So you want to buy the toys.
Yeah.
So they would also send these kids to be the drum tech at said blues festival, which was... It was bullshit. Nothing ever happens.
Yeah.
They're fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
So I would be there, and I'd have like backstage access, and go hang out with girls and stuff.
Right.
And then there was one year when I was doing that where the snare drum head broke.
Never a fun experience.
I've never had my razor ring so many times in my life.
Oh, the Razor phones.
They need a drum head. The show can't go on. They don't know where it is.
Oh, God.
So that was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Always
pack an extra.
No, we had extra. They just didn't know where it was.
Oh.
Because I was the drum guy.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
But nothing ever happened. That's why they sent the kid. I'm the kid.
Yeah.
You can't expect me to
That's a lot
be
of responsibility.
Yeah.
You're just trying to chill.
You're asking too much out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Failure.
Yeah.
Breaking a bass drum head in the middle of a show.
Yeah.
That one sucks.
Yeah.
But also, it's happened a couple of times. But it's always toward the end, which I love.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, guitar player, whoever wants to start a new song, you can just stick your hand through it and be like, no, there's nothing there anymore.
I had a show where it was at Space Bar where I was in Survivalist, and we played with End of the Ocean and I can't remember the touring band. They were real popping at the time.
Post rock stuff.
It was like kind of math rock, like Midwest emo stuff.
Okay.
It's pop in my head later, but literally first song in the middle of it, I'm playing my bass drum beater flies off.
Ooh.
So I got no beater. So I'm literally I stick my leg out like this and just kept playing. I got no beater, guys. So I'm just, just went through the rest of the song.
Yeah.
Put it back on.
The floor tom becomes
that was the thing. Like I was trying to do that, and the people that could see my leg were just like,
That's
and then the other
hilarious.
people that could see me were just like, what's happening here? What's the kick?
This math rock guy is really
The hilarious part was the sound guy because he didn't see my leg poking out, so he's just like, where's the kick?
can't figure it out.
Oh, he came to the stage and I looked at him and was like, yeah, I got no beater. It's like, oh, okay. He looked like he was about to have a mini heart attack.
A mini heart attack.
A mini heart attack. Just a little one.
No, I was trying to make a joke. It didn't land. Maybe. Maybe.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it doesn't really translate because it's drums. I went for it, So
You went there.
Hey, don't hate me.
Whoever listens to this, hopefully they'll get it. That was hilarious.
We got any sponsors?
Yes, this podcast is sponsored by Ong Drum Studio.
Hey!
And guess who owns that? This guy!
For the longest time, I thought your name was Will Long.
Well, yeah, I get that a lot.
I bet you do.
Oh my God!
Split the L's, and, split your A's.
So many words rhyme with my last name. Man, elementary school
Like
was
what?
not fun. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. You could figure it out at home. So how we're both not real big industry musicians.
Yeah, unsuccessful is how I describe it. Thank you.
Well, yeah.
Not for you.
Well, that kind of like goes to my next question is like, how do you measure success in your current music status? Do you measure it as success?
Damn,
I
these
feel
are
like it
great
is.
fucking question. A boss of mine. So I call off for dates, right?
Mm-hmm.
Play shows, whatever, out of town. I guess he's never met someone that plays, and needs time off for those things. They're more, you get your 2 weeks in the summer, or you get, like more standard, whatever.
Yeah.
And whatever, to his surprise, I was doing that. And then I remember him saying to me one time, like Alex, you're like almost 30. Like, you're not going to be a rock star. And I'm like,
oof.
I didn't know how to respond to it, but I knew I was angry at it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, so later on, you fight in the shower with yourself or whatever. And I was just like, no, it's for my sanity.
Yeah.
Like, I need to play especially with other people, like jamming. But if I don't play drums for like a week, I get pretty
get angry.
hard to be around.
Yeah. I feel it.
It's not that it's a cathartic thing, but no, it's just like, it's a release, and it's not to chase a thing. It's just a lot of fun. It's capturing the moments of like when you're jamming and everything's just like clicking.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do I put that on a recording? But as soon as I set up a mic, that won't be there.
Yeah.
It's all chasing that feeling.
Yeah.
So we're just addicts facing it.
I mean, I could get down with that.
But that, yeah. But what is defined as success? I don't know. If it pays my rent,
yeah,
that'd be tight.
Yeah.
But I don't see that happen. There's no money in music.
There is, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Sure.
And you definitely got to sacrifice some stuff and, do some things that maybe you don't normally wouldn't do.
You're closer than I am, but, when you also have roommates that are musicians,
yeah,
you got to kind of support them sometimes.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
No, I'm kidding.
That's true, man.
I joke.
That was
a dig.
They're
your friends too.
I know. It's a universal dig.
Yeah.
No,
What does success mean to you? Paying rent? Because you're doing it now. You are paying rent.
Yeah. For me, I've had different points of views as, when I was a touring musician, that was success for me. Even though I wasn't like on a huge label and like all that stuff, the fact that
you almost don't want that anymore. You don't.
Oh no.
They take all the money.
No, definitely not.
Guess what? I know how to make t-shirts. I have a van.
Yeah.
I know how to press records.
Yeah. That's a whole, yeah. Well, that was the great thing about that band was it's just like, you know, screw a label.
Which
it was
band?
DIY. Survivalist.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, it was like everything was DIY.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we booked our own tours.
Ryan made his own tape.
Yeah, he has his own booking company, you know, and like that's how we build our network system and stuff. Like, and it was just, you know, and I miss that so much, man, because of the camaraderie and just like being in a band where everybody's on the same page and we're all like, oh, it's that timer.
What's the timer? Has it been an hour? Oh no. Is the camera gone?
Well, we got 5 minutes left.
Finish that thought.
Just the
camaraderie.
The camaraderie and being on the same page with everyone, and just being in like-minded space and just that kind of I don't know, just like having that group of friends that are just like down.
Yes.
Like for music stuff or to leave or travel for like a month or two and, you know, and come back and just be like, okay, let's do some bullshit job and go back out, you know, kind of thing.
Like friends that you make in other cities.
Yeah.
Are like almost not stronger, but like there's bands in Cleveland that if I saw someone, we'd hug and like, we'd be like tight and like, not saying my friendships aren't great or strong, but like the connections you make with just these random people that you see, I don't know.
Right. Maybe once, twice a year.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like, but you're all in it for the same thing and you recognize that and you're kind of doing that together. And I think that kind of brings you closer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, a band is not made up of, it's your relationships with other bands, your relationship with venues, relationship with t-shirt companies. And, you know, like it's so much more than, but yeah, the camaraderie, being on the same page.
Yeah.
And I think everyone kind of is to some extent, but.
Well, then life happens.
Well, don't let life get in the way of living, you know?
True that.
Yeah.
Well, hey, anybody watching this video, I got to interject.
Episode 1. Did we do it?
Well, I was going to say, if you still want to keep talking, we can.
Has it been done? I mean, we're definitely going to keep talking.
Yeah.
It's mic'd or not.
If you want to keep listening to this podcast, visit the link that's going to be linked below this video. And we're just going to keep going. Let the camera die out.